morning, good evening, welcome to everybody who is jumping in. It's so good to see you today. In this chat, we're going to be covering some of the changes that are happening around live streaming, sort of some of the new limitations or rules, or I don't even know what to call it. Changes is probably the best word. It's at least what I came up with. Doug is actually first in the chat. Good morning to Doug. It's great to see you. Dimmy Hard, so good to see you as well. Thanks for jumping in, both of you, nice and early. Some of the things that are happening, and like, I don't know why they're changing now. You know what I mean? Like, some of these rules or limitations or requirements have been in these sort of the realms for years. Like they've had no changes and now they're making all these changes. Listicles for the win. Are we doing a listicle today? I don't know, maybe we are. I mean, I have a list. The listicle, if you just happen to have a list, I don't know. I have shared over on Twitter and LinkedIn and all the places that I normally stream. So we'll be streaming Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn today. One of the big changes that's happening is late last week, the Twitter live feed. I don't know, I can't even remember what it's called. I screenshotted it. Twitter Live, I think it's called. Or no, it's not Twitter Live at all. It's X Live. And coming soon, they didn't specify any dates, but soon you have to have a premium account to be able to stream to Twitter. So it is a pay to play place over on X. I won't be subscribing to premium just to have that. So at this stage, it will look like that whenever the soon turns out to be, we'll stop streaming over there for now. I know some people that stream over there already have premium accounts, so it's not going to make any difference to them basically whatsoever, which is good for them. But those of us that do stream to other places, and I was reading through the comments of the post, and pretty well everybody had the same thought that I did. So I didn't add it. But does Twitter X actually think that making it pay to play means more people will join premium? So let me know in the chat. If you're here live, which I can see some of you are, if you're here live, let me know. If you had to pay to stream to Twitter, would you? And also in saying that, if you had to pay to stream to YouTube, would you? Now, so that would be a different question for me. That would be like, I have a lot of respect for YouTube. They host things, everything's searchable. We all get our own little part of the world. I don't know if I'd pay to stream. I probably would, but I wouldn't pay to stream on Twitter. But it would depend obviously on your audience. You will have to look into that. So Marcus, it's so good to see you. Thanks for jumping in. Changes, I'm hooked. Yes. Twitter is so weird. It's like they're not even in the real world. I know. Like, I can understand like some of the changes that Facebook are making and that the restrictions that say LinkedIn have for streaming. I can see why those restrictions and limitations work. But I don't quite understand why you would limit it to pay to play. I'm not sure about that. I don't understand. That's basically what that comes down to. I just don't understand. Jerry says, and I guarantee when it's paid, it'll be a pain to multi-stream using a third-party software. It probably will be. There'll be. I would hazard a guess that it would either be near impossible or some serious hoops to jump through. Some serious hoops. Jerry says, I have no plans to ever, I can't even speak this morning. I have no plans to ever pay Twitter X. Hey Luigi, good to see you. Marcus says that multi-streaming is overrated. Marcus, I kind of agree. Like she says as she's multi-streaming. I think that having one place for your audience where they can connect with each other is more important than multi-streaming. It's one of those weird sort of, I do it because I can. If I couldn't, I just wouldn't. Like, does that make any sense whatsoever? So as things are changing here and my softwares expire, I pay annually and things. I'm actually like deciding, do I up it for another year? And there's a couple that I've decided I won't be. And I'm like, okay, so come July, I'll have to make some changes. And so like going forward, I actually may not be able to multi-stream because I won't be subscribing to some of these softwares that you have to pay for. And so because something like OBS gets, well, and even here on Ecamm, I'm using Ecamm today. Even on Ecamm, you have to have like a good internet upload speed because it sends it out as individual streams. I don't know what it's like on OBS. I haven't used OBS for a while and I never multi-streamed from OBS. So it would be an interesting test. It would be an interesting test to go and see if I would still multi-stream when I move back over to OBS. Here we go. I'd consider paying for YouTube. See, I'm the same. Like, I'm like, if reality, I mean, I already pay for YouTube Premium. So would I also then consider what, if YouTube decided to charge to stream, would I consider? I'm like, probably. I probably would. Good morning. Good afternoon, Chantelle. To Twitter X, no. To YouTube, that's a maybe. Isn't it interesting how we're all like, Twitter, no. Boo. Boo. But when it comes to YouTube, we're like, possibly. Look, this is so true. Funny how X and Facebook are making it harder after Twitch has loosened its rules in areas. And like YouTube has loosened its rules for mobile live streaming over the years, and Twitch is loosening its rules. But Facebook, like as of June 10, so if you don't already know this, where are we at? 24. So it's been in place for about 2 weeks. For you to be able to stream to Facebook, your account has to be at least 60 days old. So we're talking Facebook pages and professional profiles here. 60 days old and have at least 100 followers. So if you're relatively new or starting out small or any of this sort of stuff, you actually can't even stream to Facebook pages or profiles after they actually wiped out the third-party API access to groups. So you can still stream to a group using their dodgy integrations. Like, has anyone here used the Facebook directly to Facebook integration and been happy with it? I personally have not had any success with it. It's always been really janky. But I would love to hear a success story. I really would. Let me look here. I'm just having a look. Yeah, I currently mix between Ecamm and StreamYard. I juggle the two. Why I'm concerned about StreamYard is I am currently paid up until about July-ish, August. I can't remember the exact dates. And I was one of those lucky people that won a free year. I won mine from Doug's stream, funnily enough. And with the way that StreamYard's been doing some things, I'm not sure if it's going to still be there. Like once mine ticks over. Now, I did have confirmation from Dana months and months ago, that it was there waiting to sort of connect in when the other one expired. But when things change, like really big things change in a company, sometimes little things get missed, and I'm really hoping that's not one of them. But if it does, we've had this stream before. Like, we've had a whole stream about how I like to have backup plans to backup plans. My backup plan to my backup plan is OBS. So let me look here. Amazing yacht destination. So good to see you. So good to see you. It's possible that Facebook loses money with streaming and or that they don't see it as strategic. Yeah, I was reading something a little while ago that was talking about how heavy things were on the Facebook servers when people were going live, especially for long lives, that it was very, very heavy on their servers and they weren't expecting it to be quite that bad, which is probably why they're adding in more limitations so that it's, rather than upgrading servers, which is sort of what YouTube did. YouTube just went, let's just upgrade everything or expand everything or make more of everything. Facebook like, no, well, this is what we have. So how do we actually just reduce the strain on it? So, you know, there's definitely that part of it too. Jerry says, I'm turned off on StreamYard too lately. Look, there are some phenomenal people who worked at StreamYard, and those people and their communication to the community, I think, is what made StreamYard special. I mean, there are yes, StreamYard is a great tool in itself, but it is not a unicorn. It is by no means the only one doing what it's doing. And while I still recommend it for ease of use and for bringing on guests, and absolutely, if I've got a guest, I'm jumping into StreamYard, I'm doing that. That's why I joined StreamYard in the first place, is I needed something to bring guests on, and I was using OBS, and it was just like, I can't do it with that, not on that current situation that I had back then. So I jumped to StreamYard, and so that side of it is still good for now, but I would be lying if I said I wasn't disappointed in the lack of communication coming from the Bending Spoons team to the StreamYard community. That's probably the most diplomatic way I can put that. Livestream Consultant says, yes, I use OBS directly into Facebook, mostly no problems, but also no multi-streams. Yep, okay. Frankie won hers from Doug as well. That is awesome. Quote, StreamYard is not a unicorn. It is not a unicorn. But yeah, and Luigi loves being able to have guests on his lives. And that's the thing, like for now, I'm still recommending it. And I'm still using it. And you know, it's one of those things. It's great for if you've got like lower level internet, if you want to bring on guests, if you want to multi-stream, if you just want something really simple and easy to use. It is still great for all of that. I get attached to companies and the people at the companies, and when that stuff changes, which it always changes, honestly, like get a grip, Chantelle. It always changes. It just was a big change all at once. That's all. I had a similar issue way back when TubeBuddy changed hands over to Ben Labs, and they lost a lot of good people, and I was just like, oh, I don't know how I feel about this either. So, you know, it sometimes I get attached to the people at places. So, yeah. Let me have a look here. Okay, so yeah, so Twitter is now going to be, well, soon. I love how they just wrote soon. Like, to you, what does soon mean to you? Like, to me, soon means within a week. Like, soon, that's happening soon. Whereas, who knows? I have no idea. You know, I have to confess, I thought Ross was the name of a town. And now I realize it's not. They're talking about Ross Stores in the chat, and I was just like, originally I thought it was the name of a town. It's one of those weird things. Anyway, okay. I had plans this morning. I had plans. My plans were get up early, reshoot some B-roll and screen grabbing that I wanted to get for a video I've got coming up. Get ready for the live stream. So, you know, tick, I did get up early. Absolutely. I did get up early. And then I was freezing on a couch under 2 blankets, drinking coffee, going, I am not going into that office. It's so cold. So I actually turned all the lights and everything on in here 3 hours ago, just to try and take the chill out of the room. I'm going to see if I can possibly beg my daughter to take me to Bunnings today so I can just buy a little heater. It's just, I don't like not being able to do what I want to do just because of the temperature of the room. You know, like with the air conditioner, I can kind of get enough coolness out of Abby's bedroom to take the chill out of this room. But for some reason, the heater in her room doesn't, like, because it's a split system air conditioner, when the heat's on, it just doesn't travel as far. And I am just not a happy camper. Just so that you know, I currently have heat packs strategically placed. I have one behind my back. I've got one under my feet. I have a blanket. I've got my neck warmer, and I have every light on, like except for one I turned off. I like that one, but it was, you know, it was just comes back with an industrial fan heater. Oh, tempted. I'm so tempted to do that. Yeah, my studio lights are my space heaters. They basically are this Australian homes, for the most part, are designed to suck out the heat and push it out of the house. So in summer, my home, even without air conditioning on, my home can be easily 8 to 10 degrees cooler than the outside. Which is not enough when it's 40 degrees. Honestly, it's still 30 degrees and melting inside. It doesn't do anything for the humidity. And so but unfortunately, it does the exact same thing to the heat in winter. So it's not good. It's not good. Oh, Frankie says that Perth had its coldest morning so far this year. Its coldest morning so far this year. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah, Frankie says I got up. Yeah, that's where I got to. I got up and I was just like, okay. I had like hot porridge for breakfast. I've had coffee. I've got hot tea. I'm trying everything to not just become an ice cream. In saying that, I push my sleeves up, and that's just because I don't like my sleeves bunching around my wrists. It's pretty dumb. I get that. I can't do anything about it. But anyway, so I don't know the exact restrictions for Twitch. I didn't actually think to write them down, but now the current restrictions we have over on Facebook, I say restrictions, I mean requirements, okay? It feels restricting because they have clamped it down. The current requirements are for Facebook groups, you can no longer use third-party APIs in the way we were used to. You can't connect with it. You can still go in as an RTMP, and that means it's a one-way street. So that means you can send your video signal, but you can't get the chat. So you need to go in and actually have the Facebook thing open as well so you can see your comments. I personally believe that whatever you're streaming on, you should try and have it open anyway, or at least one of them. I normally have YouTube open. I don't tend to, like, I have the YouTube streaming thing open. Alert. Did I miss something? Let me just look here. I don't think I missed anything. Yeah. Something happened to Doug. Is Doug okay? Let us know, Doug. All right. I don't know. Oh, you heard a notification sound. Oh, hang on. I've got some things open I probably shouldn't. That it might have been because I don't have headphones on. I couldn't hear it because I've just got system audio running, so we can have our music in the background. Okay, so I'll stop looking. But yeah, so with Facebook, they closed off access to the API back in March, April, and now you have to stream using either theirs or yeah, Doug railed, totally Doug railed. I thought it was, I don't know what I thought it was, but I thought it was, I'm like, hang on. Oh, just for you, Chantelle. Oh, so you Googled the sea, thank you. It got here last winter was -3, but felt like -8. We've gotten down to 1 here, and this is, I just want to point out, this is subtropical. And we've had 1 degree mornings and 0 degree mornings all for the last sort of off and on. Some mornings are a bit warmer, but off and on for the last 2 weeks. And I don't like it. But, and this is the thing, like the sun comes out and it heats back up. We're hitting like highs of 20, 23, 24. That's great. They're lovely. Like that. It's the lows in the mornings and overnights that make it cold. Let's have a look here. Amazing Yacht Destination says, I do think you need to make your studio as comfortable as possible so that that one does not have excuses to not do the work or video. I 100% agree. I 100% agree. I have been having some problems like and I'm not sure if you've noticed, I'm wiggling a lot. I've hurt my back and it's very sore. It's a big whingy spine. It just needs to be quiet. I'm going to see someone, it was Wednesday, but I've got to change that. So I've got to go and see someone about it and see if we can make some adjustments to it, just stop it from being so whingy. But, and then this chair, I love this chair. It's so comfy, except for one little thing, especially when my back is already sore. I'm not sure if you all know this. I'm very short and the lumbar support for this chair is not adjustable. And the lumbar support is about 4 inches above my actual lumbar. So it's pushing in the wrong spot. So I'm seriously contemplating that I'm going to have to change my chair, and also have, you know, some heating. And then I think that would be just about it. The other thing that really is starting to bug me is a couple of my colored lights, the 2 orange ones. They're not controlled remotely like everything else is. And because I have them orange for these streams and pink for the Vibrafix streams, I have to manually change the colors. And I'm just like, over that. So that would be the things. They're all of the things that I would change right now. But yes, having, for me, I think I've noticed that I've been working out in the living room. I have my nest, my spot where I like to sit and craft and watch TV, gets full sun in the morning. So it is the toastiest, warmest spot in the house. Everybody, all the pets fight over it. We had to push a table up behind and put a blanket on the table for the pets because they were trying to steal my chair. That wasn't happening. So I have found that I am trying to work out there more, and I don't have a proper laptop. I'm working on an iPad with a keyboard. So yeah, it's definitely having the space to do the work is better. So if you can, do it. You could wrap up in the Havana. Well, I didn't make a Havana. I've got a queen. Oh yeah, not the Havana. There you go. I meant the queen. The queen blanket is here and it is enormous. The queen blanket could cover this room. Definitely. Definitely. John O'Brien, good to see you. Good to see you. When the sun came out, it would only get to 5 degrees if we were lucky. But the lowest here is -24, but it's been a while. That's horrible. That's horrible. And Marcus, you're so right. Online, we perceive everyone as average height, and it's because we're all at eye height with each other. Like we make sure our cameras are at eye height or just above to get the best shot, right? And everyone does that. So when we meet people in real life, Doug's like 17 feet tall. He's very tall. And I'm like, oh, hello. This is gonna, I'm just gonna end up with like a crook neck from just chatting with you. And you're right. It's because we do perceive each other as being a similar height. I'm about 5'3", 5'2", 5'3" ish. And, yeah, so I'm quite short in the scheme of things. Let's have a look here. I have a desk for live streaming, but I have a neck injury, so when I work on computer, I'm a nice big recliner with a keyboard on my lap and a monitor attached to the wall, and it swings out. That sounds amazing. That sounds so good. I love the sound of that. That's actually true. I have a foot thing. I have a thing under my table. So that my feet can rest on something. That's true. And you know what? Yeah, on a tall day when my back's not hurting and I'm not feeling all crushed up, on a tall day, yeah. Because like I'm 163 centimeters. I know how many centimeters I am, and you know, it can range. Like I'll pump it through different things. It can be anywhere from 5'2" to 5'4". So I don't know. Yeah, so 1.6 meters. Yeah, so I'm like this much taller than 1.6 meters. So yeah. So basically an inch, or just a smidgy dash over an inch taller than 1.6. So yeah, it's you know, we've all got our crosses to bear. Mine is that I'm very short. That, you know, I sit on standard dining table chair. My feet don't reach the floor. On our couches, my feet don't reach the floor. Planes, my feet barely reaches the little foot thing to put your feet on, let alone the floor. You know, when you go to places where you can have like lunch or drinks or whatever, and they have those stupid stools. For a start, I've got to basically get a running launch to get up on one, which that doesn't happen. And then secondly, once I'm up there, especially if they've got no backs, I just feel like I'm dangling, like my feet don't reach anything. I can't lean back. I'm just perched there. I don't like stools to sit on. At least give me a back on the stool and a little spot to put my feet that are a bit higher. So yeah, I've got issues with my height and dealing in. And I will say, while I'm a person who doesn't like to chat with strangers all that easily, when I'm grocery shopping, I have zero qualms about asking a tall person for help. I'm like, I am sorry, tall person, but I really need your very long arms to just get that thing that I just can't reach. I really want that one. And I've never had a tall person not help me when I'm grocery shopping. So to tall people, thank you. Short people appreciate that. Live stream consultant says I'm 6'1" and my brother is 6'3". We have issues fitting in our private plane most days. We hit our heads on the headliner. You have a private plane? Like what? My brother's a 6 foot. Yeah. The men in our family are normally quite tall. The women are quite short. Abby is tall. So, you know, good news for Abby. I don't know if you heard it. She's just in the other room and she just went, yeah. If you're 163, you're 5'4", it's an extra inch. Yeah, see, it is one of those things where on some charts it says 5'3", some says 5'4", and I've even read some that are like that's 5'2", but it could have been on a short day and I wasn't quite 163. So what I should do is actually get Abby to help measure my height at some stage, just so I know that I'm actually 163. Abby's just going, you're short. There you go. Amazing Yacht Destination says, I'm tall. I hate planes, especially Asian planes. It seems that they cater for shorter people, so no leg room. Look, you know what? As a short person, I find planes generally uncomfortable, right? I can actually stand up from my seat and not hit my head on the overhead. So for most part, so that's pretty cool. I like that. I can't reach the overhead to put things in and out of it. So, well, I can put things in it, but I can never get things out. So I tend not to use it. I'm that person who stuffs things under the seat. And then, but what I'll say It's because my legs are just dangling in the air, right? There's nowhere for me to put my feet, unless I've got my backpack or something on the floor and I can put my feet on that. Then I can, but my knees are still to a point where if they recline, they're banging in my knees. I do not like it when people recline. I don't recline. I don't like it when people in front of me recline. And if you're on a 1.5 hour flight, why do you need to recline? Let's just start a war over reclining chairs on planes, because I know we all have different views on whether or not we should. I just think that they should just make it so the chairs don't recline. Unless you're on a long flight, there's no reason for it. Like, unless like you're on at least a 6-hour flight, no reason to need to recline. Oh, thank you, Crochet with Claire. It is a cow that I have made myself, using all my own hand-dyed yarns. I found it this morning, so I'm like, I'm wearing that. I'm taking that. So yeah, so I am going to reiterate what we said at the start of the stream. So those of you that are coming in, there've been some changes to some of the streaming services. So Twitter has put out an announcement that soon, obviously I have issues with the word soon they will be having, you have to have a premium account to be able to stream to Twitter, which means these streams will no longer multi-stream to Twitter, as I don't see any real benefit to stream. Like, I stream there because I can, but once I can't, I won't. Does that make sense? And so if Twitter is a main priority for you and it is something you stream to, you will need to look at considering paying for the premium account so that you can continue to stream to Twitter. Facebook have rolled out some more changes. They're all fully rolled out now. They happened as at the 10th of June. And those changes were that if you stream to a business profile, so a personal profile that's set as professional, or onto a page, like a business page, if you stream to either of those, you must have your account for at least 60 days and you must have at least 100 followers to that page or to that account. Yeah, it is, it's definitely a way but that makes it harder for new creators. But yes, and it is very odd considering that some of the other streaming platforms are actually reducing their limitations or their requirements for streaming, whereas Twitter or X, I'm sorry, I really struggle to call it X. I think of X as an underused letter on the alphabet or something I don't want anymore. And so therefore I don't actually have a positive thing for X in my brain. Whereas I'm like, Twitter, cute little bird, cool. I don't know why I went very British then, but whatever. So yeah, X is making these changes, not Twitter. Sorry. The only want money if you want a blue check. Did they take your free check away? You actually got banned for spelling names wrong. That's interesting. Yeah, do you know what, John? I agree. I think it should have been called Twitter X or Tweet X or something like that. That would have been more in line with their branding than going with just X. Absolutely. I 100% agree with that. I 100% agree. Let me know in the chat if you've noticed any new changes or anything happening in the live streaming requirements around places. I know it gets confusing between the live streaming requirements versus what you can do if you have software. So like on YouTube mobile, you have to have 50 subscribers or you can't stream to mobile. Unless you use a third party like StreamYard or something like that you can use from your mobile, then you can stream whatever. They don't have the same limitation. I don't understand why they don't have the same limitation, but I'm cheering. But yeah, it's definitely one of those weird things. Amazing Yacht Destination says, seems like I won't be using Twitter or Facebook. The last year starting to use less of Facebook anyway. Yeah, look, I'm seeing a few businesses pull away from Facebook. A few businesses that have their memberships over on Facebook, like My Fiberific. my fiberific business, I've actually opened up a Discord for it. I find it to be so much better for keeping track of conversations, for creating proper threads, being able to just keep everything rolling and happening and create fun little sections, and being able to like just stream into it if you want to, you know, just like all these sort of things. I mean, by streaming into it, I mean, I have Zoom calls with channel members. So, you know, it's that sort of side of it. Whereas with Facebook, I'm finding that there's more and more limitations. They control the feed. They decide what each individual gets to see and when they get to see it. And that annoys me, because a person has joined my group. They want to see the things from that group. A person has followed my page. They want to see what's on the page, because that's what I do. When I follow a page, I want to see what that person's creating, not every 27th post that might be of interest. So yeah, definitely one of those things. I've not tried, Livestream Consultant says, I've not tried streaming to Facebook profile page through StreamYard to see if it'll still connect. Facebook specifically called out pages and groups. Yeah, so with the pages and groups, the actual wording on that new limitation, so that having 100 and having an account that's 60 days old, that's specifically for pages, and your profile needs to be set to professional. So professional profiles and Facebook pages is what that new limitation is for. Requirement. I'm going to keep saying limitation. Requirement. So yeah, it's definitely, I don't think it'll be long before they add in some more for personal pages. Although I actually don't know that many people that stream to a personal page. Let me know in the chat, do you know of anybody who streams regularly to a personal page? Crochet with Claire. I haven't really got into Discord, but it sounds like I should for my business, like a better experience for customers. It's a little hit and miss, especially with older people, I'll say, Claire. I know that I've got a few people who won't, like, I was considering totally shutting down the Facebook page. And a few people, like, they haven't been able to get their head around Discord. So it is different. It looks different. It feels different. It's totally different. And you can make it, you can use it for free, which is something else I also love, because the other options are things like Circle and there's a pile of them. Where's my phone? I've got a few of them. Mighty Networks, Circle, there's one with a heart. What's the heart one? I can't remember. But usually the person who creates the group has to pay for those, whereas Discord is a free version. And this is where Facebook has kind of got people, like, you know, stuck. And that is that it's free to use for the most part, unless you pay to advertise. And whereas a lot of these other groups, or a lot of these other sort of membership places, are not free to use, therefore you need to charge for your membership. So Discord is one of the few places left where you can create a membership or create a group that's free for people to come and go. So yeah, it's definitely a learning curve. But if you have an older audience, it might be a little trickier. That's where I'll go with that one. I would probably, Claire, I'm happy to jump on a call and we can talk it over and we can set you up with a test run. John says, it's me. I'm older people. Discord is weird. Marcus has it. This is it. Discord is a better experience, but it's not where the people are. And that is the truth. On Facebook, people find you. Your posts will appear because a friend commented on a thing that, you know, and someone else will be like, oh, that's interesting. Whereas Discord itself is the destination. So you have to get them straight over to Discord. There's no, I mean, Discord does have some discoverability, but I wouldn't be banking on it. But yeah, so it's a destination. But for someone like you, Claire, you could actually have like in threads about your most popular patterns where people are troubleshooting and helping each other. You could have or not so much threads, but for like that, you've got options for threads, forums, and different kinds of posts, and you can actually put these in, and people could get help on that one thing. They could be like, I am stuck on the granny square bag. Boom. All these people have made it. All these people can help you, you know, kind of thing. Discord comes down to how willing is the community to chat. And it can be a slow start. I'm not going to lie. It can totally be a slow start. But right now, it is free. And you've got so many options in there. About 3 years ago, I was looking at it, and I just felt, yeah, I'm not that keen on it. And then a few months back, they've made some serious upgrades, some serious changes, and it is definitely got more features now than it did have even just a couple of years ago. Yeah, it does remind me of the old style bulletin boards. It does, yeah. Amazing Yacht Destination says, I just love Discord because I've not seen any ads in between the posts. It's not ad supported. So there are ways, if people want to pay and support your community and get your community, like your Discord page, to get access to more things, they can pay a fee each month that actually gives a boost to the actual board, which means that it's not something for the individual running it, but it actually gives something to the entire group. It's definitely one of those things. Leanne says, I don't look at Discord daily. I'm in the older bracket too. But you're over there, Leanne. I see you over there every now and again, liking the posts and what have you. Freaky says, I'm 10 in my head. Yeah, I'm about 19 in my head, I think. My body reminds me daily that that's just not true. So, So we do have some options. We do have some alternatives available to us. They quite often are missing something, which is discoverability, which is one of the biggest advantages of YouTube. YouTube has one of the best discoverability algorithms out there. I know that, you know, that's a contentious thing to say. Some people agree, some people don't agree. But in my opinion, it has one of the biggest discoverability algorithms that makes it, you know, useful. Like, I'm not kidding, right? YouTube suggested to me a few years ago, well, probably 2 years ago, an edging video. So someone with their whippersnipper making nice crispy edges of their you know, driveway. And I'm just like, oh my God. But I'm like, oh, I'm going to click it. So I clicked it and I watched the whole thing. Now I actually actively subscribe to some lawn mowing channels, which is weird. I'm like, why? But I find the transformation of these overgrown messes of yards into these pristine lines of, I love it. I love it. But yeah, it's definitely one of those things. Oh, one of you, yeah, this is the thing. If somebody else gets access to your account, it can change it. I do not recommend sharing your account. Set everyone up with their own free account. Abby's got hers, Tim's got his. I've got 3. Actually, I've got more than 3, but I've got 3 that I actively watch from. The one thing Discord has available is a live option both publicly and privately, but as you said, discoverability is non-existent for the most part. Yeah, so if you can get your audience onto Discord, if you can say, hey, we're going to try this thing out, we're going to go over here. Once you can get them over there and enough of them that the conversations are moving, because this is the thing, it's on Facebook, they might like reply to a comment in your group, then reply to a comment in someone else's group, and then go through and put a post on their post. There's a lot more to do over on Facebook. But in Discord, you tend to, well, she says, I'm a member of quite a few Discords, so I go through all the different groups. But a I do it like that because I do it on my phone. But yeah, it's the definitely you have to get the person there and you have to provide a reason for them to stay. So with regular posting and like Fiberific is not a prime example of doing this well. Honestly, it's not. I've got a couple of really active people over there who are fantastic. Way better at this than I am. But having the options and alternatives and testing things out, and sometimes just testing it out and going, yeah, you know what, this isn't for me. I don't like how it looks. I don't like how this, and sometimes you don't know until you try it. You know, in the back of your brain, you're always like, I could go to Discord, and then you're like, you know what, but I don't like it. And so you can test these things out. And I'm all for testing and trialing different softwares, different platforms, not to the detriment of where your audience are currently at, but in addition to. So if you have the bandwidth, if you have the time and the energy to do this as well, then give it a try. If you don't, it's a lot trickier. It's a lot trickier. I don't think more community features are a high priority for YouTube. Would love to be wrong on that. I actually have a video coming out on the community tab really soon. But they are amping up the community tab, but there's still no way for somebody else to start a post in your community. So right now, only I can start posts. Everybody can reply to it. Cool, that's great. But if somebody's like, hey, I need help with something, they can't start a conversation. And that's some of the important things about building an online community, is being able to start the conversation. And sure, they could write a comment under a video, they could write a comment on an existing post, but having a standalone post for that, and them being able to instigate it, like not them have to come to me, go, Chantelle, can you please write a post? I need help with this thing. And I have to actually physically write a, hey, can anyone help such and such with the post? And then get them to come in with the details. I love, especially for creatives, like, and so I'm not just talking crafters, but anything where you need a screenshot or a little video to show where you're up to or what the problem is, you can't do any of that. Like comments cannot be replied to with photos over on the Facebook community, YouTube community at this stage, YouTube community. I do think that they are amping the community tab, and I think that they're making it a lot more discoverable. They're making it a lot easier for you just to look at community posts. But I do think that the true meaning of community is a two-way street, and that's not there yet. See, this is the thing, like you could do that. You could actually add in a comment to somebody else's post, but that's thread jacking, and most people don't appreciate their comments being thread jacked. But this is the only option right now over on YouTube. There are no alternatives. You thread jack or you miss out. So yeah, it is what it is. Livestream consultant says, if YouTube would have a version of Messenger and or a way for us as viewers to post on the community tab, that would kill Facebook, Instagram, and X in one shot. I honestly agree with you. I don't know about the Messenger thing. I don't know if I want you guys to all be able to just message me. In saying that, I have Twitter, I have Instagram, I have Threads, I have Facebook. Message me anyway. But you're right. If there was a way for them to have a messenger service, and a way for, you're 100% right. If they opened up the community tab that viewers could post and add their own photos, that would 100% be a Facebook killer. And until they're willing to go that step, they need to understand that they're never going to kill it. Because how cool would it be, right? Just saying. How cool would it be to be able to like message, like say, hey Doug, check out this video, and just actually just send it through Facebook through YouTube Messenger, rather than having to share, copy the link, go to Messenger, type it in. Like it'd be so much better, right? It'd be so much better. Freaky Geek says that at one time they had an app that worked with all the messengers and joined them all in one place. Sort of looked like Twitter, but I think it was called Tweet. Yeah, I don't know. We need a billionaire. We need a billionaire to invent TubeBook. I love it. I love it. Look, honestly, I think we just, like, YouTube are going in so many different directions, right? They've got the videos, which like they've always had. Then they've got live streaming. Now they've got short form videos like shorts. They've also got like their focus is on TV. You know, they've got so many fingers. Oh, YouTube music, like so many fingers and so many pies. Why not add a messenger service? And why not? Like seriously, as a creator, you can lock it down. You can staff it out. There's options like you're already doing for your other socials. You could make it so that, you know, it doesn't work for you. Like over on Twitter, you can make it so that people can't DM you, have it so you turn off. You know, there's options. There's options that you have. And then you could keep everyone on YouTube. They wouldn't be going to Facebook for the Facebook advantages. They wouldn't be going to any of these other places. Anyway. What would I know? Seriously. Yes, I have many YouTube watchers say that they want to share a photo of their crochet on YouTube and they don't have Facebook. Yeah, there's a lot of people moving away from Facebook right now. There's a lot of people. I work in the membership of a group, and there are people who pay their membership, access all the education stuff, which is not on Facebook, but never join the community because they have zero interest in joining Facebook. And do you blame them really? But yeah, it's one of those things. Yeah, that'd be a great. That's one of the big advantages of Discord. You can totally share pictures in there, for sure. It's hard to get people to go to other platforms. This is the thing, and the platforms make it that way. They want you to be like platform monogamists, right? They want you to do everything on the one platform. They don't want you. YouTube doesn't want anyone multi-streaming. They want everything, you know, they want everything on their platform. They want to make it a one-stop shop, except none of them offer everything to make it the one-stop shop. So they can't actually have what they want. So therefore they just make it harder and harder and harder. Like if I share my link to my YouTube live stream on Facebook, which I still do, the chances of anyone seeing it in a timely manner is just zero, right? But I still hope that someone over there will have seen it and come over here. Same with Twitter. They get buried in the algorithm. If they're linking off to another platform, they do get a little buried. But I still hope, and I still share, because I do have some people who are in some places and not in others. And then, you know, the last few weeks I've been very slack with my scheduling. I usually schedule on a Saturday, but I've been scheduling Monday mornings. I've got to fix that. I need to get back into the grill. Why I've been out of the loop is I'm in a position right now where everything's changing, right? Everything is changing here. And things that I've been doing, like my live streams over on Fiberific that I've run nearly every week for the last 7 to 8 years. And this Monday morning live stream, depending on the job that I end up getting, because I'm currently and actively looking for work. These both run at 9 a.m. Monday or 10 a.m. Thursday. If I get a 9 to 5 job, they're both gone. And so I'm a little bit in this, like, okay, when will I, because I'm not, they'll both have to move, I should say. They're not gone. They'll both have to move. I'm like, okay, I'm going to need to come up with some other times to do these things that are going to suit the audience. But like Fiberific, we've been doing it the same bat time, same bat station for like 8 years. It'll be really weird to sort of move it. But my brain has been in this kind of flux state for a couple of months, and it's sort of, it's getting like, Like right now, Abby is getting ready. She is about to leave the state for 4 months. Like she leaves tomorrow. So, and we found that out yesterday. Like we knew it was coming, but it was confirmed that she has to be there by this date yesterday. So it went from, I'll get 7 days notice of whenever it's ready to start, and it was getting closer and closer, but yesterday it was real. So everything is in flux right now, and my brain is not really coping. So yeah, lots happening, and it's the same for all of us, right? Who here has exactly the same thing happening every single week, day in, day out, with no changes ever? You know, like I'm very curious. Can you actively find a job that doesn't involve Thursdays, please? Look, I'm looking at all sorts of options. I'm looking at all sorts of options, including working for different time zones, working, you know, part-time so that I can have a little more flexibility. Like everything's open. But if I need to change these stream days, I'm going to have to do it. Doug's right. One thing that is always constant is change. Yes, absolutely. I just happen to have a lot happening at once. There's no gradual like, like slow waves of a gentle ocean. No, this is like storm squalls on the beach. Like, that's where my brain's at. So sorry about that. Anyway. And just like life, let's bring it around. Just like life, where things are constantly changing, the platforms constantly change too. And keeping on top of the requirements and the limitations and the rules and everything that's constantly changing. If you're on YouTube, you need to be going over and following Creator Liaison on Twitter, X. You need to be following the Creator Insider channel here on YouTube, which is a channel of YouTube staff for creators. There's these, you know, go and if you're active on Instagram, go and follow the actual Instagram pages. What's the guy's name who is in charge of Instagram, who was doing all the live streams when Threads started? Anyway, go and follow him, whose name I can't remember right now. We need to be prepared for these changes. We need to be flexible. We need to be able to move and grow and change with the changes. And if we're so adamant with our feet buried in the concrete that we can't move, our legs will be snapped off and we will die of blood loss. Just to put that graphic image in your head, but that's what will happen. If you don't want to change, and if you want to bury your head in the sand, you'll be left behind. Humans don't like the process of change, but we often love the result. Yes, that's the thing, right? That's the thing. The actual change itself is what's scary. The changes itself is of like just the thought of doing something different is what is unsettling. Actually, like making the decision and doing it, that's different. So yeah. On that note, everybody, I'm going to go and find somewhere warmer to sit for a few minutes and beg my daughter for a lift to Bunnings before she goes out, and go from there. I hope you all have a fantastic day. I hope that you can all sort of go with the flow and move with the changes, and hopefully not too many changes hit you all at the same time. And I will see you all another time next week. You know. Oh, Leanne says, also come here. Chantelle will keep you up to date with the changes of all the things. I certainly try. Marcus, it was so good to see you. Thanks for joining the stream. I will see you all next week. Have an awesome week. And you know, enjoy life. Bye now.